I really like this bike. Flowy. They know what they're doing when they build these trails out here. Torque for days, bro. Pretty steep down into the ravine. Front ABS is interfering a little at the moment. I actually really love riding here. Yeah, very predictable sliding. Super fun. So I really like this bike all around. Off-road capability is a cut above any of the other small Japanese dual sports. I'm here at Climb Buttes, OHV, with the DRZ and the Grace, because it's not a real test of an off-road motorcycle if you don't take it out on the rocky, sandy garbage up here in Central Oregon. So trying to get a test in as many environments as possible. We both like riding up here. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Next time we'll bring the 390. That'll be even more fun. But so we're gonna hit some rocky trails and some sandy, lots of sandy out here today, and really put this here DRZ to the test. Not stock tires, as I think you know if you've seen any of the other videos, but the Golden Tire Fatty on the front, and I got the D Sport on the back. D Sport is fine in the sand. I've been happy with it in the past. And I'm running about 25 PSI because it's pretty rocky out here. I could see taking it down a little, maybe 15, but it just depends on if you're going to go fast over the rocks or slow over the rocks. If you're going to go fast, you need to keep the pressure up because you will pinch a tube like nothing. It's a little bit better on these lighter bikes than it is on an adventure bike. I would never lower the pressure, but this bike's heavier than me, but barely. So let's get after it. Yeah, I really like this thing. I really do. It's like the exact level of aroundery I want. Got G-Race behind me. She's picked herself up a 250F. I blame Dallas for that. He sells a lot of those based on the training in Canada. Damn, dude. Yeah. Really good amount of power for what I want to do. And, you know, the weight doesn't bother me that much. I'm pretty used to it. Suspension, stock suspension is damn tolerable. I might have it re-sprung. I can definitely feel it squatting. I would have to have it re-sprung for me, but I don't know if I need to do much more else than that. Now we're gonna go hit the gravel pile. See what kind of trouble we can get into. I tried the gravel traction control, useless. It wouldn't work in the sand at all, so that's just something that I would run on a gravel road, and I'm just not gonna have TC on ever, so it's a waste of weight and electronics for me, personally. I'm not saying it doesn't have value, I guess, but I would have rather had a 6 gear, and I think most people would agree with that. All right, a little paranoid after almost crashing into Joe at the Zero event, so we'll do a lap of the pile before we ride up and over it. Sand, bro. So much sand. Almost like we're in the desert or something. Can you believe it? This hill over here is one that terrified me one of the first times I ever came up here. I refused to even attempt it, so we'll go climb that. It's this one right here. I could do it sitting down. Yeah, that's it. That's the hill that I was afraid to do. It's sandy. Yeah, that terrified me to the point where I wouldn't even attempt it. Second's a little higher than I expected on this. Honestly.
Here we go. Very nice. Very nice.
I'm doing most of this in first. I mean, we only have 5 gears. They got to be spread out, but I normally do this kind of screwing around in second. So good if you got good clutch control, but this thing's also twitchy at high revs, so.
Here we go, here we go, up. Woo! Very nice.
Where's G-Race? Hey. Oh, Mike's Hard Lemonade bottle. You don't like to see that. I really like this bike. It's like pretty good for the level of power that I want. That hill over there, I think I told you last time we were here, I was terrified to hit it the first time we came out here, like first couple times. Like I wouldn't even attempt it on the 250L. It's like, I could do it in my sleep now. It's so nice to like just notice progress. Can't believe I ever thought this bike was too tall for me. It's fine. Ooh, this front end loves to come up, dude. Loves it. That's what I mean by I think the suspension's pretty good, even in stock form. Because it also comes down when it does that, and it doesn't really bottom or anything with me on it. It's pretty good stock suspension to be crushing whoops and stuff on. Getting out and trail riding, I mean, not necessarily like this if you're not going to spend a lot of time in the sand otherwise, but even on like your local OHV, even the green trails, the easy trails, you're going to get a chance to practice skills over and over all day long that, you know, the kind of thing you hit once or twice a day or maybe once an hour out when you're doing your actual adventure riding, but you want to have the skills and the confidence to tackle it. You can practice those things over and over, get a lot of reps by trail riding like this. So I always recommend, if you can, take your adventure bike, your dual sport, maybe even your adventure bike. I've done it on my adventure bike. I've ridden the 790 here, out somewhere where you can get into some gnarlier situations in a controlled environment so that you know how to deal with them. But if you screw up, the consequences are minimal because you're not that far from the parking lot, usually not by yourself, stuff like that. Yeah, there's a black diamond right there. Actually not awful until you get up around the corner. I don't know, like a black diamond for a side-by-side is not the same as a black diamond for a motorcycle. Grace correctly pointed out that I turned the wrong way, so correct trail now. I don't know why people say the D Sport's not good in the sand. It's fine. It's totally fine. I do find it hard to get forward on this seat. Could be the position of the bars, but I don't know. I slide back a lot. My knees are like super cramped for a bike this tall. I think the foot pegs are just super high or something. I don't know. I definitely would be more comfortable with lowered foot pegs. I can see that.
I almost bit it majorly back there. I hit a whoop way too fast, and unfortunately my weight was not in a good position, and I cinched my throttle just a touch. Almost launched the bike off without me. Oh, I love it.
Look at the three sisters. So ugly here. And the snow's out finally on them. Nothing on the pass yet, but a ton up in the tall mountains, so it's coming. It's coming. Chunky soup. Crawlability, high. And the extra clearance really helps too. I've definitely tagged foot pegs and skid plates a lot on this trail, on the smaller bikes, the 250F and whatnot. It's pretty chunky up here in Central Oregon. Pretty chunky. Chunky soup. Did not make it up this the first time I attempted it. Let's do the hard side. Ooh. Almost ate it. Oh, that sand was deeper than I thought, bro. Holy shit nuggets. Woo. Nice. Oh, that was like a foot of sand. That would have been a crash in the old days. Really fun rock section up here, if I'm remembering right. It'll be a great test of the technical and slow speeding abilities of this thing. Ooh, and a lot of loose shit too, which is not awesome. A great sort of technical test. Yeah, faux show. Getting that for show. Now I gotta go through it again, one more time.
Nice.
God, there's just like no good way through that. But it just powers through. The thing is torque for days, bro. Love it. Good clearance. A lot of confidence there. Although I have gashed more than one DRZ skid plate here too. This rail's fun. It's more flowy, less whoopy. I don't think as many people make it through that last section. There's a turn off back there. And there's a real good rocky single track trail up here that we'll hit on the way down to the canyon. It's awesome. Yeah, good shit. Good shit. Oh, you can't go too fast because then there's junk. Well, you know what? Sloth loves junk, so I'm here for it. Flowy. They know what they're doing when they build these trails out here. Very flowy. And then there's a whoop. And then there's another whoop. And then there's coyote tracks. And then there's a big whoop. And there's a bunch of rocks. Flowy, but you have to pay attention, flowy. It's flow rocky. You ready to switch to 15?
Yeah.
This is the fun one that goes to the canyon, but it's real rocky between here, and there's a couple decent step downs too.
Yeah, there's one or two top downs.
Yeah.
All right, down to the canyon we go. Over the river and through the woods to the canyon crossing we go. Last time I did this, I almost died, so let's try not to die, Grace. When I had my KTM, I basically whiskey throttled through half of this juniper forest, and in the aftermath of that, with my rally, I think there was still some ice, and I just hit something slick. Also, there's a lot of branches in here, so I have hit my head before. But yeah, I hit something slick, and man, it did not go well. But this is good practice for somebody like me, especially with my little comeback tour here, trying to get better at not only steering, but just being a better rider with static balance and everything else. So chase and bend around is what I do best. And it's also pretty beautiful back here. So onward!
Yeah, this section. So I have definitely, right here, I try to go between, actually I think it was these two rocks right there last time I was here. And I crashed hard. And then there's the step down right here. So, hold on. I was gonna take a picture of that, but oh, this one's gnarly. Okay, it's actually not bad on the left. Oh, I think I hit the skid plate. So many whoops, bro. This is why I had tennis elbow for the first 3 years of my riding career, as I could not get forward enough on the bike, and I was constantly holding on for dear life. There's another chunky section. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, buddy. Good test of the old DRZ. This trail is pretty much the most gnarly stuff you'd want to do on this bike under normal circumstances. Unless you're just trying to push it to prove it can be done. Like, you wouldn't do much more than what you're doing on this on the course of a regular ride. Seriously, you just wouldn't. Now, don't hear me saying that and think I mean it's the gnarliest this bike can do. It could definitely do more. If you're wondering like if it can handle the hardest thing you're going to run into on a typical or even a difficult dual sport ride where you're not purposefully seeking out single track, these trails are a great example of exactly that. Why did I go this way? More importantly, why did I sit down? I don't think the front ABS turns off on this. I'm going to have to test it, but if it doesn't, no, it doesn't. It hasn't been too super intrusive, so that's good. But the rear is off. All right, we're getting to the good stuff now. Look at this. Look at this, dude. Look at that. Gorgeous, bro. Gorgeous, bro. So, I might have to pull that camera in to get around this rock. This part's always fun because, look at, yeah, oh my God, it's like right up against it. But you're on a cliff on one side. I didn't have the camera out. Like, I'm hitting my mirror. Look, it's kind of a narrow section there. And then you get a good little side hill. Yeah, So we did the hardest obstacle, but this is the actual hardest part of this trail where you gotta kind of modulate. Pretty steep down into the ravine, and then you gotta climb back up the backside. Yeah. Okay, front ABS is interfering a little at the moment. And then up the back, keep some momentum. Yeah. And then down another Sharpie. Oh, this is it's chunky right here. Thank God for high ground clearance. And we're in the canyon, the Death Star Trench, as I like to call it. Such a boss, such a boss. And on the back end of this canyon, it gets very sandy. But there's some rocky technical stuff to go around first. Oh my God, F that. F those whoops. F those whoops.
Aw, Ben's cheating. Fine, I'll do the whoops for you, bro.
Fun. Alright, here's the technical, tricky part. Oh, shit. I remember that being a lot worse. Not out of the woods yet. Huh, yeah, it's definitely been. Some of the big rocks have just been moved by many engines riding over them, tires even, not engines, I hope, for a long time.
Oh, it's so fun back here. It was definitely challenging for someone like me. Woo! Oh yeah! Woohoo!
I actually really love riding here. It's even better when it's a little wet like this, but the sand here is pretty predictable, so even when it isn't, it's still fun. Oh, I took the worst way. Oh no, there's a much better go around on the other side. Yeah, if you don't like whoops, this is not a great spot for you. Grace has never seen the Slot Canyon. It's right over there. It's super cool. Let's go look at it. There's only like a lot of sand in between it and us. It's not much of a canyon. You're really just riding between rocks, but I like to pretend it's a canyon because it's cooler. And there's a jump at the end that I've never actually hit, but I have filmed other people hitting. Yeah, it's less intimidating than it used to be, but if you don't clear that, you're in deep. All right, let's go back through and then we can blaze the power line back. Whoa. Grace has been here before. She's a liar. Yeah, this sand is, it's less sand and more dirt right now. It's actually great. Yeah, very predictable sliding. Super fun, actually. So, there's a trail that goes straight up this, which is really pretty hard. And then there's this one. Yeah, let's take the blue one. Let's take this one. It used to be a green. Honestly, coming down, it's pretty green, but yeah, some good chunk is good. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, it's barely. That's barely blue. Barely blue. Yeah. All right. Okay, momentary slower, but then fast. Technical road. Now, I have had my 790 out here, and it's a freaking blast on this road. Ooh, I'm sore. I can already tell. Out of riding shape for sure. Okay, I timed that incorrectly. The bike and I were not jumping at the same time. Not great. Okay. Not exactly what I was going for, but whatever. Looked mildly on purpose. So overall, because we're headed back, let's talk about how the DRZ did today on the technical, sandy, deserty 100% off-roady. Okay, this looks like a road. It's a trail. But come on, let's not get into that debate today. No pavement, I should say, all day. Crushed it. It's a blast to ride. I mean, it requires more energy in some ways because it's heavier than like the lighter, you know, like a 500 EXCF or even Grace's 250F. But it's also better than those in some ways, easier, less work because it's not trying to yank your arms off all the time like a 500 EXCF, and you're not fighting the shitty suspension all the time like on a stock 250. It just cruises over stuff. It just handles what you throw at it. It's a very capable jack-of-all-trades machine, and I like that about it a lot. It's very fun to ride, very intuitive, very confidence-inspiring. It's tall and heavy, and until you get used to that, it's going to feel tall and heavy, but I'm used to it, and I don't notice either one of those things, honestly, anymore. And I can remember first when I was shopping for my first bike, I stood next to a DRZ, and that seat was at my navel, and I was like, how the hell does anyone ride these? And the answer is suspension sag, idiot. That's how. Because I can get both. I can't get my feet flat on the ground, but I can get my tiptoes down. Pretty damn easy. So I really like this bike all around. It is just reminding me of my DRZ a ton. I would say off-road capability is a cut above any of the other small Japanese dual sports. So it's a better off-road bike than the 300L, obviously, KLX 230, and it's a much better off-road bike, and some of you are going to be mad at me for saying this, than the 390. 390 is way streetier than this. It's way better. It has a much higher top speed, but I wouldn't want to do half of that on this. This feels like a heavy dirt bike. It doesn't feel like a big street bike that doesn't belong out here. It's very capable. It's the most capable bike you can buy with the lightest weight without getting into the high performance, prissy, temperamental, low reliability, high frequent maintenance European bikes. In that sense, it's in a class by itself. And I think I didn't really understand that when I was first making videos about this, when I was like, who's it even for? Because it didn't occur to me that it's for me. It's exactly for someone at my level and experience and skill and desire. It's for me. I like it a lot, so. I haven't gone up this side. This is probably stupid. Okay. It's not as steep as it looks. G-Money! King in the castle, king in the castle. Here she comes. All right, well, I'm gonna rip up this gravel road and then drink a Gatorade. So, been great riding with you today. Thanks to Grace for coming out and riding with me. Thanks to all of you for watching. And if you're still here and you're so inclined, I'd love it if you would consider using my affiliate links to Rocky Mountain, Amazon, Revzilla, Moto Camp Nerd, Moscow Moto, Butler Maps, Motion Foot Pegs, a ton of places. They're all in the description and a pinned comment, and a lot of those places I also have discount codes. But if you use that link, I get a small commission on what you buy that costs you nothing extra, and that affiliate sale income adds up to a significant part of my overall income that makes it so that I can do this full time. So thank you for that support. Thank you to those of you who have done and continue to do that. It's very much appreciated. But for now, and as always, I just want to say, how fast can we go on this thing? I don't know, not with my visor fogged up. I just want to say, thank you very much for watching, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you. Brother!
Excellent!
How much screwing around is too much screwing around? Low siding on your pulling into the parking lot is too much screwing around. Wear your gear, kids. That was dumb.